I'm going to show you how to look at the objectives that are assigned to students and also assign objectives. When you're on the individual students page, it's going to show you what they are currently playing. Again, this is the objective here, and then this is the game that's within the objective. I click on objectives. It's going to pop up to the journey. You'll notice here that this is a new feature. It's journey access, and it's automatically going to default to turned on. This one has been changed. So it's been changed to turned off when assignments are available. This is important because if I want students to not play their regular journey and I want them to play the assignments that I'm giving them, I want to click this. Also, this will allow them, if they finish what you've assigned, to go back to their regular journey. If you click just turned off, it means that they will not be able to access their regular journey. So if they complete the assignments that you gave them, they won't have anything to continue to play. So kind of, be thoughtful when choosing which ones you want to do there. So when we have kids that have reached the challenge level and we want to start assigning things to them, we want to do the turned off when assignments are available. It will allow them to go back to their regular journey if you haven't entered a new assignment in time. So if they finish an entire assignment and you haven't checked the dashboard, they're not going to come up to you and bug you and say they have nothing to play, because it will just divert them back to their journey. It will either put them back in those challenge puzzles again if they haven't completed them. If they've completed all of their challenge puzzles, it actually brings them back to the beginning of their individual grade level journey to replay games, which can be a benefit for many students. We also want to take a look here at assignments. This is where, when I choose what I'm going to give my students, either from the previous grade level or their own grade level or a grade level ahead, it's going to show up here under assignments. I can change the order of these. So once they pop in, the newest one is going to come to the top. So I want to move this one down for this student because I want them to finish this number line journey before going into the next one. Also, please note, first grade students, teachers, if you are assigning second grade objectives and content, there are quizzes attached to the second grade objectives. That's what this little icon here is. It's showing you the quiz. This student got a 2 out of 5 on the pre-quiz, and then you're looking when they finish it that their quiz score should go up. That's also an area to be digging into. If you have students whose quiz scores are not improving or going down for some reason, there's lots of different options that you can do to address that. Feel free to reach out to me if you'd like some thoughts on how to do that. Also, you notice here it says completed and removed. These are the assignments that this student has been given and they have been completed. So once they're completed, they're kind of removed from here. So here's where I'm going to look for my in progress. Again, I can move up and down. This button over here is allowing student choice. That means when my student enters into their main dashboard, they're going to be able to decide which of these assignments they want to complete and in which order. So again, you got to think about, do I care which order they are completing things in, or am I just giving the student other things to work on? So if I'm giving them other things to work on, I can click student choice. I want to show you what that looks like for the students when they go in. So I'm going to share with you a little trick that you may not have been aware of yet. If you scroll up to actions, and you click the actions button, I can view their picture password. You don't have to worry about that. Sign in on my own device as the student. This is really helpful if you're trying to troubleshoot something to see what's going on with the student. You don't have to get their QR code and go through Clever and all that kind of jazz. You can just sign in as them right here. It's going to remind me. It's going to sign me out and sign me in as that student, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. Also choosing my own child so that I don't have to worry about any confidentiality. So this is what their dashboard looks like. Notice here his journey is light and fogged. That's because we set it up that he cannot go back into his journey until his assignments are complete. His assignments live right here in the white house. So you're going to want to make sure that you're letting students know this. We did talk about it at the very beginning of the year, but that was a long time ago and probably they have forgotten. So they want to click on the white house. It's going to send Gigi up there for them. And then just me. This means that the teacher has assigned specific things just to that student or to a couple students in the class. If you assign something to the entire class, there's going to be another little tab that shows up here, and I think it says for the entire class. So just kind of think of that as well. You can assign one objective to everybody. I'm going to click on just me, and then he can see the things that have been assigned to him or her. And again, remember I chose that I wanted this student to not be able to have choice, so therefore he has or she has to complete this one first and then move on to the next one. If I toggle that button to say that they have choice, both of these will be available to them and in nice bright white. Then they can choose which one they want to play. They could play a little bit of this one, then play a little bit of the next one. Again, you have to think about your students, think about what is your goal for what you are assigning, and that will kind of help you adjust to figure out what it is exactly that you want to do with that. I'm going to go over how to assign objectives. You want to make sure that you click the objectives tab on your main dashboard. This is going to show you kind of what grade level you're in and all of the objectives that your students are working on. You're going to go up to curriculum, which you can't see it on my video. I apologize. It was cut off there. And then all learning objectives. I'm now going to be able to see every objective. Now here's something really cool that's new too that we'll talk about more in that voluntary PD. You can check standards now, and then you can also go by grade level. So if I want to look at the standards, but I only want to look at the standards in, let's say, second grade, because I want to assign something from second grade, I click standards and then second grade. I then get to kind of look at them just based off of that versus off of just the games that are in the ST Math order. If I click this little drop down, it's going to give me the standard, and it's going to give me the games that work on that standard. Now, you will find that some games work on multiple standards, so kind of keep that in mind. Let's say I really want to have my first grade students challenged with some geometry stuff, because I know it's something that we don't spend a lot of time on usually every year, so things that kind of get left to the end of the year, but I want them to kind of get a little bit of that. So I'm going to assign something here, so I'm going to say identifying shapes. I click on that. It's then going to show me kind of all of the games. It's going to show me the quiz. It's first defaults to the pre-quiz, so I can see every one of the questions. I can screen capture this and give it to my students as pencil and paper if I want to. I can then also see the post-quiz if I clicked on post-quiz. So I go to games. I can get an idea of what these games are, if it's going to match my student, if I feel like it's appropriate, or am I going to need to give them some pre-teaching, especially if I'm giving skills that are in a grade level ahead of time. I know we have not a lot of time on our hands this year, but as we kind of move forward with ST Math, it's something that's really important. Now remember, when you sign this, you're going to assign all of the games. You can't pick and choose which games you want to assign. I go to actions. I could play it if I wanted to get a better idea of it, or I can assign it. When you assign, it's not going to give you this. You're just going to automatically get your class. So I'm just going to pick, poor Kim, I keep using Kim's class. It defaults to entire class right here. And then you also have individual students. So I'm going to click on individual students because I just want to assign it to certain kids. It gives me a drop down of my entire class. Now this little bar here, if it is green for any reason, it means that that student has already completed that objective. If I assign it to them, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to show up in their assignments or anything. So it's kind of like a waste at this point, but they are working on fixing that. I hope this helps give a really quick kind of overview of how we can use the assigning objectives, especially for our little kiddos who are reaching 100% of all of the objectives of their grade level.